Hello, my audience of 65. Holy moly, it's already been 3 months since my last progress report. I was hoping I could do these once a month, but I'll be honest, I've been really busy. Busy enough to make a 34-minute-long video of you just talking, you might say, but being frank, I have struggled to find time to work on the animation. So, what happened? And what's the future for the project? Well, I can assure you that my Take This Waltz animation is still going to happen. In fact, it's going to have a better future than initially planned. Let's run down what all happened in these 3 months. It's been a lot. So there I was, steadily making progress on the animation, even with school. There I was, so naive, picking away at a hopeless strand. I had become so absorbed in the actual physical animation part of it that I forgot to look at the big picture. Finally, I decided just to take a step back and look at what I had done. I didn't know what to think of it. The backgrounds, the colors, even the scenes themselves from the original storyboard. I didn't know how to continue. All I knew was that I wasn't satisfied and had no idea how I was supposed to fix it. I tried reworking the backgrounds, desaturating colors, and redrawing characters, but to no avail. I just simply didn't like what I had done. I'm not the type of person who's going to work on something that I can't take pride in, feel comfortable posting, or boast about to anyone who will listen. If I can't brag about it for days, it's not worth it. My presence on social media isn't to document my life, post pictures of myself, or try to become a celebrity. It's to gain recognition for my work. People ask me why I post my art if I'm not expecting to gain money for it, and I always say that I don't make my art for other people, I make it for myself. And if I couldn't convince myself to be proud of it, well, it simply won't do. I knew I could do better, and better I will do. This reflection period lasted a couple weeks where I did absolutely nothing. Then came the time that I decided to take a different approach. To dive down deep into my animation, to grab the source of what bothered me so much. I came to the conclusion that it was the story itself. I revisited the first 2 chapters I had written and started working exclusively on the written copy of Take This Waltz. I challenged the very way I saw the Countryhumans themselves, changing fundamental concepts of the Countryhumans universe from the norm to fit what I was going for. And well, what am I going for? The answer to that is hard, straight realism. The problem with the Countryhumans community is not the concept of humans as countries, as humans. It's the execution. Even down to the art itself, even when the history is right, the Countryhumans community has this thing, this problem that makes even historically accurate things still feel somewhat insensitive. The fundamental problem with the execution of Countryhumans, like I said before, it's not the concept. It's the fact that they're not humans. Sure, they're humanoids, but real humans lived through these events. Real people had to go through these horrible things. And it just feels so wrong that you're portraying these circle aliens in their place, represented by just a flag, not as their actual face, the actual human being who had to live through these things. They're being represented totally wrong. And I strive to fix that. I still like to have the flag of the Countryhumans, but they need a face. They need a personality. The Countryhumans can't just be a physical representation of their country. They also have to be more of a character than a country. This is not a textbook. This is an emotional retelling, historical fiction. I will not stand to portray real people as just a flag. Have you ever watched a Countryhumans video that wasn't colored in? How did you know what the countries were without their flags? The answer is that you didn't know, or there was either an arrow with their names pointing to them, or you were able to tell because the USSR had an eye patch, Russia had an ushanka, America had sunglasses, Britain had a top hat and a monocle, etc., etc. There is what appears to be a common problem of same-face syndrome throughout this fandom. So I finally recognized it in my own art and realized that it was a problem I needed to tackle as well. The Countryhumans community is looked down upon because they choose edginess over grittiness, modernity over accuracy, bright over realism. Even when they do approach history, they do so in a flawed and immature way. Quite often, they use their cooler, more appealing version of history over what actually happened. And so it was decided. I couldn't fall into that trap. I needed to make my animation less like a Countryhumans animation, and more like a war film. When writing the actual story itself, I took great caution during scenes that took place during real battles. I talked to multiple adult historians I know, by the way, whom of which, when presented the Countryhumans universe I had made, were quite pleased with the way things were working out. I learned many war terms, and they helped me better the story I was going for in my head with these characters. It's hard to write historical fiction, especially since most are based around a true story. It's hard to come up with a story of people who lived through real things but didn't actually exist. After describing actual scenes of war, I had a clearer idea, and I'll be able to draw them a lot better. There's more to history than putting someone in a uniform, placing them on a field with a rifle, and slapping a date on the side of the screen. These battles are real, and to actually experience them was so much more. One of the things I did to make my story more realistic was give the Countryhumans actual names. But besides that, I worked on giving each of them a unique face until I could tell who they were without their flag or common accessories. I also added regular human OCs to make the story more realistic. I always hated how there was no actual human beings in Countryhumans. I took inspiration from All Quiet on the Western Front and came up with the fine details. They say you have to learn the rules to break them. It's the same here. You have to know all the little things before you rule it out, before you only show a small bit of the picture. And that is precisely what my animation is doing. It's a quick version of the actual written story. Then I started drawing again. Not animating or working on the animation, but just drawing. Drawing with a paper and pencil, and painting, learning the names of machine guns and rifles, and drawing the different gas masks. 3 months ago, I didn't deserve to call myself a history buff. And finally, here I am, still in the stage of creating miscellaneous drawings and writing. I promise in the next report there will be more progress, but I'm starting over completely. Yes, you heard me, from scratch. It's still the same story, same characters, same general idea. I don't know if I'll keep the storyboard I have or not. I might redraw it. There are some things I need to tweak. Remember, I don't care if you think it's good enough the way it is. I will not post something I can't be proud of. I will not post something I wouldn't want the entire world to think is the peak of my abilities. I can do better. This animation isn't just going to be good. It's going to be epic.